We begin practice today standing at the top of the mat in mountain pose. Find one breath to center. Then inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, take them down to heart center. Cross the right leg over the left and take a little side stretch. We'll get moving pretty quickly today, warming up the legs. Come back through center, plant the feet, and find a few little hip circles. Find some play here, really warming up the hips, maybe reaching down to the hamstrings and the hip flexors. Wiggle it out, open them up. Stepping back into mountain and taking our side bend to the other side. One more breath. And release, uncrossing the feet. Standing on the left, take the right knee to the hip height and exhale, open it to the side. Drop the knee down and take it back up, trying to make these movements controlled. Hip articulations, moving slowly, then maybe picking up the pace, maybe adding in some little flair, making it more expressive as we warm up and open. And then finding the knee back in front of the hip, extend the leg, reaching for the big toe with the right hand. Squaring the hips, make sure to drop the right down. Breathe. Pull the leg into the chest. And exhale to release. Coming back to mountain pose. Ground down through the right foot. Send the left knee up. Exhale, squeeze the glutes. And then release it down. Controlling first. Articulating through the hips. And then finding a little fluid movement. Taking another circle or two, and whenever you're ready, extending the left leg in front of the hips. Trying to pull the leg up towards the chest as we keep a nice long spine. The hamstrings will get their work in today. And exhale, release the foot, planting the feet, stepping them hip width apart. Inhale, chair pose, reach the arms overhead, sink the hips down, nice long spine. Tucking the tailbone in slightly, and exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift, reach through the crown of the head, and exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, lead with the head, arms come up, and exhale, heart center. One more big breath, reach for the sky, and exhale, dive down. Halfway lift, and stepping into plank pose, taking a modified sun salutation B. Meeting in downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg comes up, steps in between the hands into warrior one or a high lunge. Stepping back, vinyasa. Moving with the breath, already starting to build up heat. Left leg sends up high to come in between the hands. And exhale, rain the fingertips down. Meeting in downward facing dog. Picking up the pace here, right leg reaches high, three-legged dog. Bend the knee and exhale, tap the right elbow, three-legged dog. Tap the elbow, exhale. One more time. Then step the foot in between the hands, high runner's lunge, reaching the chest up and the heel back. Opening up the psoas. Breathe. Plant the left hand and reach the right up, big twist, still sending the heel back. Exhale, frame the foot, come down onto the left knee and come into half splits, flexing the right back at the face. Use your breath to help you deepen. Inhale, find length, and exhale, folding over the leg. We can stay here, or we can add a little fun twist, planting the right hand on the inside of the foot and reaching the left back, connecting to the core, still sinking down. And when you're ready, shift back through your low lunge and step into downward facing dog. Left leg reaches high, and the knee taps the elbow. Exhale to crunch and tap. Inhale, three-legged dog. Coming through our high runner's lunge, fingertips lift on the mat. The heel reaches back, nice long body. 2 more big breaths. Send the pelvis down. Planting the right hand, left finds the sky. And exhale, frame the foot, half splits. Listen to your body, don't push anything too much. We'll be flowing through these poses a lot. Let yourself naturally open. Taking the twist, if we would like to do so. Then returning back through our low lunge, this time stepping up to the top of the mat and forward fold. Take the feet underneath the hips and reach the right arm up, finding a little gentle twist. Exhale to release and switch. Beautiful. Forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Sink the hips down, feeling nice and powerful, active. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step back, plank pose, taking a vinyasa. We meet in downward facing dog. Left leg comes up this time, stepping up through the hands, warrior 1. Inhale, and exhale, warrior 2. Squeeze the scapula together. Straighten the leg and find a reverse triangle. Exhale, windmill around, humble warrior, hands reach over the head. Stay here for another breath. Then exhale, release the hands. Turn to the long edge of the mat, wide-legged forward fold. Taking the chest down, reaching the hands behind the legs, trying to pull the head through the hips. Use your breath, keeping a nice long spine. Then walking the hands underneath the chest to bend one knee and the other. Grounding down through the outer edges of the feet, feeling the inner groins activate. Straighten the legs, turn to the back of the mat, step back, downward facing dog, sweep the left leg up, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, stack the hips, squeezing the glutes, sending the foot to the other side of the room. Exhale, three-legged dog, and step the left foot up between the hands, pyramid pose. Straighten the legs. Find your center and sweep the arms back, maybe interlacing the fingers. Active in the glutes, getting a deeper stretch in the hamstrings. And release the fingers to the mat, coming into a low lunge, sliding that right foot back. Inhale, arms sweep overhead. Taking a back bend, maybe a side stretch. We're here for another 2 breaths. Then frame the left foot and come back into our half splits. Folding over the left leg. Revisiting this pose, maybe feeling more open. Beautiful. Then stepping up to the back of the mat, chair pose. Ready to repeat this sequence on the other side. Sink into the hips. And exhale, fold. Halfway lift. And step back. Take a nice strong vinyasa, meeting in downward facing dog. Right leg sweeps up behind. And then bend the knee, pull it in through the chest, warrior 1. Exhale, warrior 2. Straighten the front leg and reach the arm overhead. Windmill around, humble warrior. Clasp the hands, draw them over the head. Being careful not to sink too far into the hips. And exhale, release. Turning to the side of the mat. Connect to the core, raise the arms, shoulder height. And exhale, dive down. Inhale, lift. And exhale to dive. Doing this about 3 more times. Really strengthening the abdominals, feeling the whole backs of the legs. Taking your last breath here, and then turning to the front of the mat, downward facing dog. Sweeping the right leg up, bending the knee and stacking the hips. Really gripping through the fingers here, pressing away from the mat. Exhale, square the hips, bring the knee in through the chest and into our pyramid pose. Ground down through the feet and sweep the arms by the sides. Connecting to your breath. Staying nice and active to help you gain a deeper stretch. Strong muscles are more stable, and it helps you with your flexibility. And coming down into our low lunge, arms release up, finding whatever variation you found on the other side. Facing the right leg and making your way into half splits. Flex the foot back. Lift the hands off the mat. Use your strength. Use those stabilizer muscles. There we go. Last breath. Then plant the right foot and gently step up to the top of the mat, coming into a wide squat, sinking the hips down, lifting the chest high. Taking a bind over the right knee if this is accessible to you. Exhale, release, and switch. Still sinking the hips low, taking the knees back. Breathe. Then release, taking the hands in front of the chest. Come up onto the balls of the feet, taking the heels up. Our hips are still sinking down, and once we find our balance here, we can begin to lift the hips up in line with the knees. Stabilize and exhale, fold. Shake it out a little bit. Whenever you're ready, we're going to come into pigeon pose, extending the right leg long behind us. To target the hip flexors more than the glutes, we can tuck the back toes, coming up onto the ball of the foot, taking the chest forward. Really lifting that back knee off the mat. We're here for a few breaths. Find what's comfortable to you. And then deepen. Releasing your pigeon pose and gently coming into a full straddle before going into the other side. Keeping the feet flexed to protect the knees. Slowly exhale, take the chest forward. I invite you to find some play here. Maybe tap the opposite feet, find some side stretches, some dynamic movements to mobilize and awaken. And then finding a deep forward fold and staying there, or we can gently rock forward into the middle splits, coming up onto the forearms, sending the hips down. If we're not here, we can always come up onto a block or stay in our straddle. Breathing wherever you are, honoring yourself. And you can gently come out, lifting up, being careful with the body, and coming into pigeon pose, facing the back of the mat. Tucking the back toes, lifting the knee off, using the fingertips to press the chest away. We can also lean forward over the right shin. Beautiful. We're coming into our front splits next. So take whatever you need to feel prepared and ready to get there. And if you don't have your splits already, or maybe you're not that close, we can skip that portion for today and use this class to revisit and mark your progress. So whenever you're ready, we can make our way into the splits with the right leg in front, however feels comfortable for you to get there. From a low lunge, from half splits, maybe even from pigeon pose. Being careful to square the hips, sinking the pelvis down, very active in both of the legs, using the hands to help you. Breathe. And gently come out of the splits, moving carefully. We don't want to injure ourselves here. And we can turn around and find the splits on the other side. Probably noticing that one side is more open than the other. Perfectly normal. You can see these splits on me are not nearly as close. Finding presence in this posture with the breath. And whenever you're ready to come out, we gently meet in child pose. Knowing that wherever you are is where you're supposed to be. Releasing expectations of where we thought we might be today in our splits. There's always time and room for improvement. Maybe we find some hip circles here. If we need to release the lower back or the groins. And whenever you're ready, flip around onto the back, taking the right knee in towards the chest and opening for half happy baby. The left leg is extended down on the mat. On this next exhale, straighten the leg, opening to the side. Noticing our breathing pattern as we begin to cool down. Exhale to take that leg over the body into a twist. Gently unraveling your twist, coming onto the back, and taking a full happy baby to reset, to find support for the lower back, to just hang out. And when you're ready, we can now do the other side, extending the right leg and taking the left in half happy baby. Extending the leg long, pulling it close to the chest. And exhale, make your way into your twist. Finding some relief there. Returning to your breath for the last few minutes of this practice. Coming into your final resting pose. Finding some connection, whatever that means to you. Connection to the earth, connection to yourself. Beginning to let the eyes close and the muscles relax. Breathing nice and even, feeling the belly rise and fall with each breath. Relaxing the muscles of the face and the jaw. Just being with your breath, staying here as long as is necessary. And I thank you for joining me in this practice today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Have a great rest of your day,